Hello there, everyone. We are at another episode of Shine Like a Gem, and today's gem is Carin. Carin, how are you today? How are you feeling? You can be honest.
I'm very well. I'm a little nervous, but I'm well. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for naming that. Often, when we get into onto these interviews and people are witnessing, they're like, "Oh, everyone's just totally fine and nothing must be happening in their lives but perfection." But that's not actually the truth. In many cases for folks, they are having their own personal lived experiences and there are nerves at times too. And so really honoring all of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, before we begin and we have our convo, I'm going to just share with everyone here on this interview series a little bit more about Carin Klinger. All right. So, Carin is a certified energy coach, holistic health coach, and a 200-hour Yoga Alliance registered teacher who additionally has been doing counseling for over 30 years, specializing in addiction. Carin is additionally trained as a meditation instructor and mindful art and yoga instructor. A stroke 7 years ago prompted a transformative journey, leading her to becoming an advocate for slowing down and reconnecting with inner wisdom. She suddenly had a wish to slow down, listen to her inner voice, and fall in love with life again. Energy coaching is what created this transformation in her and her work. Since then, her eclectic approach incorporates her modalities while encouraging clients to shed guilt, embracing self care, self love, and reflection. Mindfulness, she asserts, is the vital link between physical, mental, and emotional health and wellness. Through her unique blend of expertise, Carin guides others to quiet the body, mind, and heart, fostering a profound connection with life and inner wisdom. Oh, the work you do. Firstly, I want to just say thank you. Honestly, thank you for the work you do. And I know the intensity it takes for you, your energy, your time to do the work that you do each and every day.
Thank you.
Yeah. So before entering or during even energy coaching school, um, this idea of slowing down, right? I'm wondering if we can go there because often when we think of a training, a 7-month certification program, we don't think about it meaning that we would slow down. We often think it means that we need to ramp up and that commitment is time consuming and there's all these different things and it could feel overwhelming. And I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing your journey with that around commitments and how that is, and how you may have learned to slow down and be with.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, it's a great question. The when I first initially became made the decision to sign on, I I initially said I was going to do the program only online. I did not even think that I would be able to make the commitment to do it live. And I believe, maybe 2 weeks in, and I was fully in. I made the decision just based off of the first two calls that I knew that I wanted to fully immerse myself, be there on the live calls with the rest of my peers. And there was something about the energy of the live calls that had me making that decision. I went into work and was able to have that conversation with my employers, which I had never been able to have prior to that, um, and decided to just put the dates in the calendar and figure out how it was going to work, kind of just as a decision and see how it was going to work. And it just magically happened. It made itself work. I placed the time aside, and both I feel as if it was the energy of the people around me, all of you, first of all, um, And I will admit there were days I would be in my car. You all would know even my camera would be off and I'd be rushing home, but you all would have the utter patience for me to be able to make sure that I got to where I was going to be. There were times I was like, no, I am there. I am pulling over on the road if I need to so that I could be present. And it was such an important investment for me emotionally and energetically to be there, that it never felt as if it was something extra. In fact, amazing to be able to say, like, no, I needed to be. I'd be signing in all other times in the day or night or whenever it was, to be able to be on Discord and make sure that I was like, no, I need to check what other people are saying so that I could be there to respond, because that sense of community just was that much more important. It became a family. So.
It really did become a family. I feel like that's something important to voice up because that has some to do with me, yes, but really all to do with all of you gems as well, which is number one, I was so incredibly in awe in the fact that you claimed what you desired. You knew that you needed to go and make a decision and tell them like what you were going to shift, which a lot of folks would say it could never be done. Like those words, I could never say I'm leaving early. I could never tell them this is the way it's going to be unless you have an issue with it. And you did that. It was like this out of body experience that I witnessed.
Did feel a little bit that way. It felt like it was just like not even me, but it was like there was no way. I mean, but that took place after a call with you where we had a call about time.
Yeah.
And it made all the sense in the world after that call about time, where I made it seem as though time was this outside thing that was just somehow controlling me. And you were like, really? What is it though? What
Totally.
is
And
it?
I would say it that way with like a little nod for
Yeah,
sure.
but is it really? It's like, no, but it is, Anne, really? No, yeah.
I do like to call out, what's,
Oh,
questions about that's not really true for sure. And then this inspiring space of even in the midst of transitioning from one act and one focus that you had into another, you were in full work mode and then you drove yourself home to come and practice nonetheless.
hmm
And so those things, again, it takes, I would say it's not even commitment. It's the trust that if you allow yourself to lead into the field, that
hmm
you will have some grace and almost let go of your mind's control over your act and gracefully get you from one place to another. Right. I think it's our mind that says, I'm so tired. I can't do this. I have a long drive. I have X, Y, and Z that limits us. But the communal space that we're in, because it's so intimate, right? It's a small group of us that come together for this work. And so, yeah, I loved witnessing that. And then lastly, the family. So can you tell me what you mean by that? If someone was like, I don't know what you mean by this family, how are gems your family? Or what was the connection like? Could you
Uh,
share a little bit?
they're oh gosh, that's so complex, right? The fact of being in the space with them, again, kind of going back to when they would welcome me in, if I was bombarding them, like walking in, you know, from my work, and they watched me bumble through techno problems, okay, on top of, which is always ongoing. Um, and then being in the our partner sessions where there was this amazing meaty relationship that I had with every single person that I had an experience with. And even those that I did not get to partner with, we still had that ability to have that relationship and on top of that, then just being able to see each other's growth and be proud for each other when we saw each other's successes and continued growth, and cheer each other on as you see someone get to another level where they and puff up their chest as they did, um and then also, as someone would be feeling, because I know that when I would be so like have that yuck feeling when I didn't feel like I did well with something, and everyone was like, it's going to be fine. It's when I was not feeling well, there was that feeling of always having cheerleaders, forever having cheerleaders. And that sense of community is unparalleled. And I've been part of more communities than I can count by this point in my life when it came to programming. And there is a family and community that you have created with decks that is something that I've never ever seen before. So and that's the people within the community can only continue and create that when the person leading that community has fostered that relationship and that love and that ability to be vulnerable and to know that they're going to be able to be supported and held accountable with that no matter what. So
Oh, thank you so much for that reflection. I received that. And yes, it's so easeful for me because you all come in with such self agency and this place of responsibility of taking ownership for yourself and willing to receive feedback and work on things. And all of your ability to be very honest, right? So if you're being coached, you can share anything in your heart that is coming up, but
mhm.
you can also kind of choose what are the things that are a little bit lighter and what are really the things to be looking at. And you all choose courageously to be like, this is where I want to go. And then, even then, we can say, all right, is it that really the thing or is there something else? And then the opportunity to be like, oh, yeah, okay, you're right. There is that other thing. And so it's so joyous to be able to be in such a refreshing space where there aren't really masks. We're learning how to fully let go of them. And so thank you for being one of those. Yeah. All right. So another question. Based on having gone through decks, people often use those tools and skills in many different ways. And so, can you share a little bit about how you have used devoted energy coaching in your work, or have you offered it in different kind of iterations? What's happened since graduation in that way?
I have had the amazing pleasure of being able to bring it to my job, which um, again, I would love to go back to saying that, when I first met you, one of the things that I said, I love going back and just finding out how everything was switched. But when I first met you, I was all about how I wanted to create a practice that was complete and set apart from what I was doing. And you said you don't really think that they can be connected. And I was like, absolutely not. They are very, very separate. And you were like, really? How come? And I was like, just cause, just cause. Um, and the amazing thing is that while I have had private clients, my utter joy has been from doing my practice at my program, the substance abuse outpatient program. And so I have been doing group work with the clients there that includes grounding meditations and somatic work, movement, and it's been amazing in places where I never in a million years thought that, for one, it would have been accepted by the powers that be there. Um, they allowed me to only after I had, kind of taken them through experiences first, where there was a lot more resistance with staff than there was with clients. But then allowing the clients to be a part of the experience and drop in much more with their bodies and be able to to start to listen to that inner voice, which they had been so disconnected to for such a long time because the substances kind of quieted all of those inner wisdoms and that inner voice and all of those stuff that's been screaming out for so long. So it has been beautiful.
Okay, firstly, you went to your higher ups and you said, I would like to do this, knowing that they would need to experience it.
Yeah.
So, what shifted in you in saying, I'm going to show them and actually follow through on that? Because that is, again, another courageous act, Carin.
Well, see now, I don't know if I thought it was courageous. I thought it was more when I first got out of school, I actually was struggling with a little bit with time. And I was finding that I was not able to kind of figure out how much would I be able to do this private practice and how much would I be able to do work. And I was like, oh no, I am not going to have this be one more excuse about why I do not do this. I was like, I'm doing this. I am doing this and I'm going to make this, I'm going to kick ass. I was like, this is going to happen. So I was like, how's this happening?
Yes.
I was like, how's it happening? Because I don't know, but this is happening. So I that's how I decided to do it. So one day, everyone had come into a staff meeting, and every single person in there was frazzled. And so I decided to ask everybody if they would like me to do a grounding practice. And so it started there. And everyone now, every single Tuesday from 2 to 4 is when we have staff meeting. And every single Tuesday now, I have to start the staff meeting, which has been in and of itself just fun. And so that's how it started. And then after doing that, then I was able to ask. And then each time it started to do something else. And so then I asked to be able to then do this entire group. That was then, and so now selective people came into that group who they asked me, what did those clients need to be or have or what have you in order to come in? And so that became like a process. So yeah, that's how it wound up being. But
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, Carin, firstly, I have to say that this to me exemplifies leadership, right? Like circular, sacred leadership, where you were dedicated and committed, you had a vision, you knew that this was profoundly something that you desired to do, but you had self sovereignty to say, I can't stretch myself, nor do I choose that path. So there must be some other path available.
mhm.
And so there was, and you were able to see it. And then almost even synchronistically, right? And intuitively, you started to kind of drop in those nuggets and you followed those breadcrumbs. And I already love when you provide meditations to begin with. I mean, it is one of the things that you profoundly are so good at. And so you just kind of kept on moving through that space and then more and more. And now you have this experience. And again, also your lived body of work, which is in this therapeutical realm, but now you're adding the energy coaching into it. I can't wait to learn more. Like more about the study of this and how it's supportive. I'm gonna have to set up another time where I'm just talking to you all about it because this is amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh.
never would have been able to do that had I not been with you. That's for sure. That's for certain.
So could you share a little bit around what you felt this will just to support folks who feel like I don't know if I am a right fit. I don't know if I'm either one ready for it, I have enough skill sets or enough experience, or whatever the case may be, right? And so I wonder if you want to share a little bit about what were some of your doubts before entering, and how can you help support folks who are feeling as if maybe they're not right, quote, right for this community and this training.
I think whoever you are, you're right for the community. Um, there's no not right. I think that's probably it, right? I think for when I came in, going through the circle training for me, that sealed the deal. It was going through and just being able to experience just a piece, just that little tiny piece to be able to see like, well, what is this? And the whole thing was then hearing about it and saying like, well, I don't even know what this is about. Like, what is this 7 months going to be about? And I had no idea. And I was like, no, I'm in. I don't even know. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. What am I signing up for? This is nuts. How do you sign up for something you don't even know what it is? And I was like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Like, this is right. I have no idea what it is. That's just lunacy. I'm doing this. So I think that it's it's right. If you're in and if you find yourself in the place with Sora's face, you're the right place. You're supposed to be there. I think that if you are looking for being in touch or have a desire to be in touch with your inner wisdom and you have felt at all out of touch with that inner voice of yours, then this is the starting point. This is the best place to start to reconnect with that soul place. And I don't think that, and this will sound like a commercial, right? Like I do not think that there's a better place to start. I haven't found it. And I've been around the block a few times and I have not found a better place to get in touch with that place. I feel like it's like this is the place that says you are here. That's what it is. This is the treasure map. It doesn't get better than that.
Thank you, Carin. Oh my gosh, like that just kind of that just could seal the deal in regards to what a great love note. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh. So, to feel your magic and your medicine, and so that we give some blessings to our community members who have been listening in, would you share a practice that we can participate in? What practice will you be sharing?
Um, as we were just talking, I'm thinking I'd love to do a um, meditation that would maybe be grounding. Okay.
Great. All right. We shall do so. Okay. I will be the full participant. You get to drop us in. If you feel called to kind of pull forth a devoted method or energy tool in the midst of that, so be it. And I look forward to the journey and the ride.
Welcome, beautiful souls. Today, we'll embark on a journey of self-discovery and inner exploration. Let's create a space of love and acceptance and find a comfortable space and seat and just gently allow your eyes to close. And if you're not comfortable with your eyes closing, then just gently allow your eyes to simply gaze at the tip of your nose. And as a way of grounding to the fullness of your awareness in this moment, and just take a nice deep inhale and an exhale. So feeling the sensations of the in-breath and exhale, and feeling all the sensations all the way down to the soles of your feet. Feeling the ground beneath you. Imagine roots extending from your body, grounding you to the earth. And if you'd like, you can take one hand to your heart and one to your belly. Taking a deep breath in now, inhaling calmness and exhaling any tension or worry. Notice the hands on your belly rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. Feeling those roots grounding themselves in further and further and deeper in. Allowing Mother Earth to ground you, holding you safe, knowing that now you are in connection with Mother Earth and the divine. And now, taking 3 deep breaths at your own time, allowing your eyes to flutter open, coming back to the here and now, and allowing yourself to greet the day and the rest of this weekend.
Thank you, Carin, so much for your offering. I love the way in which we could energetically bring in the tree and the grounding and rooting system, knowing that's something that we dive even deeper into inside of Devoted Energy Coaching School. We have a particular way of exploring, feeling the difference between the two. And so allowing that to kind of help support each and every one of you and your curiosity. You desire to see how we break it down and really get to know the difference between grounding and rooting and using such a powerful ally like trees to help support us. So thank you so much, Carin. Oh, it's such an honor, and I can really feel myself now that much more in harmony and my nervous system feeling alive and aligned and active. Um, I feel much more within my eyes. I don't know how else to describe it. Like I'm in and then fully looking through my eyes. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Ah, the rest of you, I hope you enjoy today's Shine Like a Gem interview. I hope you go through this practice. Let us know how it is. And I shall see you again very soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Carin.
You.